Hello and thank you for watching. This is Dr. Ali from Techmission, the largest Arabic-speaking camera and gear YouTube channel, now broadcasting in English. And this is the Nikon ZR. So what is the Nikon ZR? It's a Nikon camera with Nikon technology and RED technology at the same time. It's a camera that shoots 3 RAW formats internally to the CF Express. It's a camera that is newly designed completely from the grounds up to suit video makers and filmmakers. It's a camera that gives us the best autofocus system Nikon has ever made, the same we see in the Z6 III, the Z8 and the Z9 and the Z5 II as well. It's a camera that gives us everything a video maker needs. Yes, it's finally the long-awaited Nikon/RED camera. And it says so right here on the back and in the name, ZR. It comes with the same 24 megapixel sensor, the same one we find in the Z6 III, the same processor, and the same excellent autofocus system, but with much more to offer when it comes to video. For starters, it shoots 3 RAW formats internally into the CF Express Type B card. Let's talk design and external features. We have a new design language, a completely new design language from Nikon for the Z Cinema lineup. We have a flat camera, no grip, almost no grip, a very, very small grip, flat face, no EVF, a massive and very, very impressive 4-inch screen. We'll talk about it in just a little bit. We have minimalistic buttons because everything can be done with a simple touch from the screen. And that's the philosophy, I believe, that's the philosophy that Nikon is going for. A standalone design that does not need an external monitor. You can, of course, use an external monitor, but it does not need an external monitor with this massive 4-inch screen, and you can control everything straight from the screen. If you put it on a tripod with any lens that you want, you don't need to rig it. The way it is just perfect to go. If you want to rig it, you may, of course, do that. But talking about rigging, you have to be careful about one important thing, which is the Type D mini HDMI port. I have no idea why Nikon opted for a Type D mini HDMI port, but I believe it is to keep the size smaller. Don't worry, for resolutions and frame rate, it supports everything just like a full-size HDMI, but it's a little bit finicky. I personally don't like it. I don't believe anybody likes it, but Nikon opted for that, maybe to keep the camera small. I'll have to respect this. It's fully functional, no problems there, but I wish it was a full-size HDMI. Things I like about the design: shutter button same as video recording button, customizable zoom rocker around it that can be set to zoom, high-res zoom, or power zoom, 3 customizable buttons on the top, 1 in the front, only 1 menu button for the quick menu, and the main menu is accessible from there, and the overall touch and feel of the camera. One thing I did not like: the power button is weirdly placed and can be pressed by mistake. I wish it was a switch, not a button. In the bottom side, we have the battery room. In there, we have the 15C battery, the same as in the Z6 III. So if you have redundant batteries there, you can use them here. Next to it, in a questionable place, we have the memory card slots. I wish they were on the side. It's easier when it is rigged, but like I said, you don't really need to rig this camera. We have a CF Express Type B card to support the internal RAW recording. And right next to that, we have a very, very small slot for a micro SD card. We can use this one to record the proxies when we are recording the RAW on the main card, the CF Express Type B card. Now you will say, why is it not an SD card? To tell you the truth, in every Nikon camera that supports one CF Express and one SD card, I have never used the SD card for anything apart from photography, probably if I am not shooting high frame rates, and maybe recording the proxies on them. So for me, it makes no difference. I always use the CF Express. There is no redundant recording anyway because an SD card will not support the same codecs as the CF Express. So to me, it makes no difference if it is a micro SD or a big size SD card. For you, it might differ, but for me, it's the same. And talking about the CF Express and codecs, let's talk about the fact that this camera supports and records 3 RAW formats internally right to the CF Express Type B card. Not only that, there are 2 different log formats as well, depending on what RAW you are shooting. 3 RAW formats and 2 log profiles. NRAW 6K up to 60 frames per second in SDR or NLOG. ProRes RAW 6K up to 30 frames per second in SDR or NLOG. And for the first time in a camera of this type, R3D, exclusively in log 3G10. R3D is supported in 6K up to 60 frames per second. NRAW and ProRes RAW both do great in camera, with NRAW giving us smaller file sizes and of course a more pleasant editing experience in DaVinci Resolve. At the time of filming this video, R3D from Nikon ZR was not yet supported in DaVinci Resolve, Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro. A special beta version of Red Cine X Pro solved this problem, and the result was amazing. The camera also records in ProRes HQ and H.265 10-bit 422. Now, what about ISO sensitivity and tolerance towards high ISOs? ISO ranges from 100 to 51,200, and the usable ISO range in my testing ranges from 100 to 51,200. Okay, don't take me literally on that. I tested the normal ISO, got what I believe to be the same dynamic range as the Z6 III. However, when it comes to tolerance to high ISOs, I shot 16,000, I shot 18,000, I shot 20,000, and with neat video, I was able to denoise and get absolutely usable footage from these shots. So I believe it is safe to say that we have really, really impressive tolerance to high ISOs. I even went on a limb and went ahead and shot 51,200. And again, with neat video, I was able to reduce the noise and still get a decent shot. Now, I wouldn't put that in a documentary I am shooting, but I would definitely put it on a social media video, and I would definitely use it just to show off the capabilities of this camera. Now, when it comes to autofocus, autofocus is the same system from the Z6 III, which that camera inherited from the Z9 and the Z8, and it got extended to Z5 as well. It's an excellent autofocus system and a very reliable autofocus system. I tested it in various situations, in various lighting conditions, and I got excellent tracking and excellent accuracy. I mainly tested autofocus in video, and briefly in photo as well, in which it did just great. In video, I tested human eye autofocus, animal eye autofocus, bird eye autofocus, and even autofocus on objects, and I got excellent results across the board. I took it to the water sports area in Batumi and tested it on this fast-moving guy riding something like those sea creatures in Avatar, and it tracked his eye just perfectly. I tried it on a jet ski, tracking did great, and even on a parachute, it recognized the human portion of the parachute and did great tracking them. In sum, autofocus is just top-notch in this camera. Now, one thing I wish Nikon would do with regards to the autofocus system, which is to remove the AFC option from the video menu. The reason for that is that if you by mistake use it, thinking that it's autofocus continuous. It will not be behaving the same way as AFF, which is full-time autofocus. It will not be tracking the same way it will track in AFF. So don't do this mistake. And Nikon, if you are listening, and I'm sure you are, remove the AFC from the menu when we switch to video. This is a video-centric camera and you should not keep it there. Nikon also did something it hasn't done in a long time. It refreshed its navigation for this camera. Don't get me wrong, we still have the menu the way it is in Z6 III, but it is now accessible from the quick menu instead of a dedicated button. Further controls were added to the touch screen. You can now control everything regarding the monitor, including peaking, zebra, waveform, and everything else right from the touch screen. Not only that, the menu button is now also available as a soft button on the touch screen for better control. One thing I wish Nikon would add in the next firmware update is a way to exit the main menu from the touch screen without having to press a physical button. Probably a back button or an exit button, somewhere that allows me to not need the physical buttons at all. One more thing I wish I had, a full settings screen from where I can change everything regarding video settings. Aperture, ISO, shutter angle, file format, log, everything in one screen. That's not too much to ask, Nikon. Do it. What about IBIS? Yes, it comes with IBIS. It comes with the same IBIS in the Z6 III. It comes with the same options of normal and sports modes. It can be supported by electronic VR as well. Performance, of course, it's not the best in the market, but it's very, very close. It's giving me excellent results, handheld. Let's face something. This is not a camera that is designed for handheld work. This is designed for tripod, serious video work. But if you put it in your hand and you want to shoot handheld, the IBIS will help you massively. And since we mentioned handheld, I might add that it's small enough to fit on a gimbal and it would serve you perfectly for that matter. Battery life is decent and it did not give me any issues. Overheating? I did not even see a warning. But on this matter, I only shot short clips. I had overcast days while in Batumi shooting and the temperature was roughly 27 Celsius. So my testing is not really reliable. I will test overheating further when I get the camera back and let you know how it goes. And finally, what about audio? Audio is something that Nikon excelled in with this camera. For the first time, we have internal 32-bit float recording in any camera. This camera does internal 32-bit float regardless to what microphone you are using. That's a peace of mind that I have always wanted. I always had backup recording in 32-bit float in any device. I choose something to put on to record 32-bit float because I want the safety of no peaking at all times. Now I have it right in the camera. Now I feel safe right in the camera. In addition to all these core features, Nikon has added really nice touches here and there. We now have breathing compensation. We have pre-shoot and post-shoot in photo mode, and we even have dehaze right there in the camera, also in photo mode. So in summary, Nikon ZR has a lot to offer. It records 3 RAW formats internally, 2 log formats internally. It records 32-bit float audio internally. It has impeccable autofocus, a very, very rich and strong lineup of lenses from Nikon to support it, and a design that is unprecedented in how compact and effective and efficient it is. Not to mention a massive 4-inch bright screen that controls everything in the camera with a simple touch. What more could we need from a video-centric camera? It is indeed what I would call a cinema camera in the hand. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow us on social media, and I'll see you in the next video. And cut.